She's dressed as a local woman. She's carrying bread. And she's about to walk into a house full of armed men with a plan to kill every single one of them. This is Bod, codename Agent Zero, one of France's most lethal intelligence operatives. And right now, she's standing in the middle of war-torn Raqqa, Syria, about to do something most trained soldiers would never even attempt. For days, she's been watching, studying every detail of a mysterious woman who arrives at the same house each morning. Same time, same bread, same knock. A very specific knock. A rhythm. A code. Bad clocks it, memorizes it, and files it away. Because today, she's the one carrying the bread. She slips into an identical burqa, melts into the street crowd, walks straight up to the door, and knocks. Exact same rhythm. The door opens, and she goes to work. By the time the smoke clears, every armed man inside is down. The target, a high-value operative named Abu Bakr, is confirmed. Her handlers are watching the entire thing live through her body cam. Mission accomplished, or so she thinks. Then the order comes in. Her director of operations, a cold and calculating woman named Joanna, issues a command Bod never expected. Kill everyone left in that house. Women, children, leave no witnesses. Bad freezes. She doesn't hesitate out of cowardice. She hesitates because she's still human. She refuses, she walks out. But the second she steps into the open air, the whole compound explodes behind her. A shadow operative, already positioned at the perimeter, had been authorized to finish the job if she wouldn't. And just like that, everyone inside is gone. And Bod is left standing in the wreckage, covered in dust, with the weight of something she couldn't stop and couldn't save. 6 months later. No agency, no mission, no identity. Just a quiet coastal town in Morocco, a surfboard, and a man named Elias. Elias is a local cop, honest, warm, completely unaware of who the woman he loves used to be. Bad has done everything she can to leave Agent Zero behind. She teaches surfing lessons. She watches the sun go down. She tells herself this is enough. But the nightmares don't stop. Every night, that explosion pulls her back. The fire. The screams she couldn't prevent. Elias wraps his arms around her in the dark, trying to reach her, and she lets him. But she never really lets him in. She's smiling on the outside, crumbling on the inside. And miles away, everything is already in motion to destroy the quiet life she's built. Somewhere in the region, a cartel member named Nassim is being broken apart in an interrogation room. His own people, his own family. They want one thing. The name of the cop he's been secretly feeding information to. Under the weight of the pain, he gives it up. The name is Elias. They kill Nassim the second he says it. The very next morning, Bod and Elias are sitting at a cafe, normal day. Coffee, sunlight, the sounds of a street waking up. Bad gets up to order just a few steps away, just for a moment. That's all the window two men on a motorcycle needed. Kamal and Rami Khoury, hitmen, brothers, hired guns, open fire. The bullets tear through the cafe. Elias goes down. Bod sprints back through the chaos, pushes through the screaming crowd, and gets him into her arms. She rushes him to the hospital. He's alive, barely. But he's in a coma, and she has no idea why any of this happened. She just sits there, staring at him through the glass, trying to hold herself together. Then Elias's partner, a cop named Raid, arrives at the hospital with the full picture. The shooters are the Khoury brothers, sons of Mansour Khoury, one of the most powerful arms traffickers, operating between the Middle East and North Africa. Elias had used Nassim's intel to blow open one of Mansour's biggest weapons shipments. The cartel boss sent his own sons to silence him. The problem? The evidence isn't enough to force an arrest, and the judge assigned to the case is in Mansour's pocket. Bod absorbs every word. She doesn't cry, she doesn't raise her voice, she just starts planning. She tells Raid to move Elias to a hidden safe house, off every official record. While Raid handles that, Bod picks up the thread the justice system dropped. She tracks the brothers to a remote sauna outside the city. She moves through the guards quietly, room by room, until she finds them. What follows is not a pretty fight. It's efficient, brutal, final. When the police arrive on scene, Bod is standing in the middle of it all, completely still, hands out. She lets them cuff her without a word. Raid shows up, stares at the scene, and says nothing. He understands. But the fallout is instant. When Mansour Khoury gets the news that both of his sons are dead, something breaks in him. He goes quiet in a way that's more dangerous than rage. Then he channels that grief into something far worse. He calls in a French contact, a rug dealer named Lebron, and orders him to find out who killed his boys and who's protecting them. Back in Paris, that same answer lands on Joanna's desk. Bad. And here's where the story gets much darker. Because Mansour Khoury isn't just a cartel boss, he's France's most valuable intelligence asset, feeding the agency critical intel on armed factions in exchange for one thing: total immunity. He runs his weapons empire with French intelligence looking the other way, and everyone in the building knows it. Now Bod has killed his sons, and if Mansour walks away from this deal, years of operations collapse overnight. Every dirty secret gets leaked to the global press. Joanna doesn't just want Bod contained, she wants her gone. Raid visits Bod in her cell. Elias is stable, he tells her. He's being watched over by a trusted nurse named Nora. But there's a clock ticking. In 3 days, Bod is being transferred to a black site. She knows what that means. Transfer day comes, and the moment it starts, her instincts scream that something is wrong, that this isn't a standard move. She's right. The prison explodes into violence. Armed mercenaries, hired by Joanna, pour through the corridors. Guards go down. The hit squad forces Raid at gunpoint to open Bod's cell. The moment the door swings open, a mercenary reaches in to grab her. He never gets the chance. In a matter of seconds, she has his weapon. In less than a minute, she's carving a path down the corridor, but caught in the crossfire, in the wrong place at the wrong moment. Raid is shot. He doesn't make it. Bad doesn't stop. She can't. She bursts out of the prison, spots a motorcycle, and rides, hard and fast, with the hit squad right behind her. The chase pushes her to the edge of the city, and then, literally, to the edge of a towering cliff fortress over the ocean. Nowhere left to run. So she jumps. She hits the water hard in the dark, and the cold sea swallows her whole. She drags herself to the safe house sometime before dawn. She remembers nothing after that, just blackness. When she wakes up, Nurse Nora is there. She'd patched up the wounds, stopped the bleeding, kept Bod alive through the night. Elias is still in the coma, but he's stable. And for the first time in days, no one knows where she is. She stands over him for a long moment, and something changes in her eyes. The grief doesn't disappear. It hardens. It turns into something else entirely. She's done running. She digs up a hidden weapons cache, pulls out her laptop, encrypts a message setting up a covert meeting for the following morning. She packs cash and gear and says goodbye to the version of herself that was trying to live a quiet life. French intelligence picks up the encrypted ping almost immediately. They lock onto her signal. And Mansour, learning that Joanna's kill squad failed, calls the director directly with a very simple ultimatum: deliver Bod, dead or alive, within 24 hours, or he burns the entire operation to the ground, publicly. For the first time, Joanna looks genuinely afraid. Bad meets Sam, Joanna's own assistant and her oldest friend inside the agency, on a rooftop cafe the next morning. Sam is furious. He tells her she's the most wanted person on the planet right now. Every agency, every asset, every satellite is pointed at her. He wants to help her disappear, but Bod doesn't trust the machinery anymore. She slips a sedative into his coffee, gently, with something almost like an apology in her eyes, and tells him to stay out of it. She's going after Mansour herself. The intelligence teams raid the wrong cafe. They lose her completely. Joanna responds by deploying Alex, her best closer, an elite assassin with one directive: find Bod and end it. Bod moves fast. Using what she'd pulled from Sam before the sedative took hold, she tracks LeBron, Mansour's fixer, and on to Marrakesh. The moment LeBron spots her, he runs, and she chases him across rooftops, through alleyways, full sprint. But halfway through, her instincts flag a third presence. Someone else is in this game, watching from a distance. Alex. She catches LeBron first. The interrogation is short and not gentle. He gives up Mansour's location. Then Alex opens fire. She moves just in time, leaving the shot to hit empty air, and brakes for the train station. But the agency's facial recognition catches her on the platform cameras. By the time she steps off the train in Casablanca, the whole station is a trap. Teams everywhere. She threads through the net using a moving freight train as cover, patient, precise, then commandeers a taxi and heads for the port. At the port, Joanna is personally overseeing the exchange. Weapons to Mansour's cartel, in return for the identities and locations of a terrorist cell planning an attack on Paris. She signs off on the deal. Her phone rings. It's Bod. What Joanna doesn't know is that Bod is perched on top of a shipping container 30 meters away, staring at her through a rifle scope. She has the shot. She could end it right here. She doesn't take it. Instead, she needs the intel being exchanged, the names on that list. She climbs down. Alex is waiting at the bottom. He takes her at gunpoint and hands her directly to Mansur's men. On a video call, Mansur savors the moment. He's going to make the kill personal. Then gunfire erupts from across the yard. Sam, still fighting through whatever she put in his system, has come back. He's dropping Mansur's guards one by one. Alex breaks off and goes straight for Sam. What follows is not a close fight. Alex is a machine. He dismantles Sam in seconds and kills him with his bare hands. Badai arrives just in time to watch her oldest friend die. She doesn't scream. She doesn't break down. She goes after Alex. This fight is different. There's nothing calculated about it. It's pure, raw, and devastating. She tears through him with everything she has left. When it's over, she stands in the silence with Sam's body at her feet. The pain is real. The loss is real. And she carries it forward anyway, because stopping isn't an option. Joanna, in the aftermath, makes one choice that isn't about self-preservation. She uploads the terrorist intel, the names, the locations, everything from the exchange, directly to headquarters in Paris. The city locks down within the hour. Every terrorist on the list is arrested. An attack is stopped before it even begins. The next morning, Bud takes up position outside Mansur's heavily guarded compound. She calls his personal phone to draw him out, waits. A silhouette appears. One shot, clean, final. Mansur Khoury is done. She goes back to Morocco, back to the safe house. And Elias is awake, eyes open, looking at her, alive. The relief that floods through her is enormous. She almost laughs. She almost cries. She just stands there for a moment, letting herself feel it. This man she loves, this impossible thing she managed to keep safe through all of it. But the joy doesn't last. It can't. She's too clear-eyed for that, because she knows exactly what she is and what her presence in his life will always mean. Every enemy she's ever made, every mission that went wrong, every person who will eventually come looking for her. They'll find him instead, and he doesn't deserve that. He never did. She says nothing. She doesn't explain or justify. She just looks at him one last time, memorizes his face, and walks out the door. She disappears into the night so that he can finally live in the light. Later that evening, Joanna sits alone in her car. The radio murmurs in the background. A news anchor reporting a stunning victory for French intelligence. 3 terrorist cells dismantled, 8 suspects taken down, explosives seized. Paris saved. The agency is already calling it one of their greatest counterterrorism successes. Joanna's eyes drift. Something catches in her mind. She thinks about the timing, the source, the anonymous intel that appeared out of nowhere and broke the whole thing open. And she realizes, slowly, like a cold wave moving through her, exactly who sent it. Bad. The woman she tried to have killed. The operative she sacrificed to protect a dirty deal. The ghost who walked away from everything and still chose to save the city. Joanna sits with that for a long moment, alone in the dark, the radio still playing, and the film ends there. Not with a gunshot, not with a chase, but with that quiet, devastating truth settling into the silence. Agent Zero never stopped being the best of them. She just